everyone, welcome back. As you all know, we are learning HTML forms in detail. Today we are going to learn about the HTML form attributes in detail. So why waste any more time? Let's get started. But before moving forward, let us see the agenda. In today's session, we'll be learning about the form attributes in HTML and an example of form attribute with detailed explanation. So let's see the first attribute, HTML action attribute. The action attribute of form element defines the process to be performed on form when form is submitted, or it is a URL to process the form information. The action attribute value defines the web page where information proceeds. It can be .php, .jsp, .asp, or any URL where you want to process your form. Now here is an example of HTML form attribute. If the action attribute is omitted, the action is set to the current page. In this example, there is a form having input fields and a button. When we click on the button, the values of the form go to the page which we have provided to the action attribute. Let's see the output. When we click on the button, the values should be submitted to the next page. But we're not using any server-side language here. That's why it's not possible. HTML target attribute. The target attribute defines where to open the response after submitting the form. These are the keywords used with the target attribute. Now, here's a list of target attributes. Blank. The response is displayed in a new window or tab. Self. The response is displayed in the current window. Parent. The response is displayed in the parent frame. Top. The response is displayed in the full body of the window. Frame name. The response is displayed in a named frame. Self. If we use self as an attribute value, then the response will be displayed in the current page. Blank. If we use blank as an attribute, it will load the response in a new page. Now here's an example of HTML target attribute. When submitting this form, the result will be opened in a new browser tab. But we are not using any server-side language. So guys, I hope you understood what I just explained. We are learning form attributes of HTML in detail. Let's get started. HTML method attribute. The method attribute specifies the HTTP method to be used when submitting the form data. The form data can be sent as URL variables with method is equal to get, or as HTTP post transaction with method is equal to post. Post. We can use the post value of the method attribute when we want to process the sensitive data, as it does not display the submitted data in the URL. Here is an example of HTML post method. Here we have used the post method. After you submit, notice that the form values are not visible in the address bar of the new browser tab. Get. The get value of the method attribute is a default value while submitting the form. But this is not secure as it displays data in the URL after submitting the form. So here is an example of HTML get method. Here we have used get method. Let's see the output. When we click on the submit button, it does not get submitted because we're not using any server-side scripting language. But if you look at the address bar, you can see the name value pair. It appends the form data to the URL in name or value pairs. So never use get to send sensitive data. HTML Novalidate Attribute. HTML5. The Novalidate attribute is a newly added boolean attribute of HTML5. If you apply this attribute in form, then it does not perform any type of validation and submits the form. Here is an example of HTML Novalidate attribute. Here we have used the Novalidate keyword in the form tag, so it will not be validated while submitting. So this is it for today, guys. Here's an assignment for you. Specify that the form is submitted using the post method. So this is it for now. I cannot wait to meet you in the next lecture. Goodbye and take care.